Blizzard?
Blizzard.
Okay. Now more of what's hot.
Again, we are joined by Tracy Johnson from Tempo, Milwaukee, and our old buddy Jeff Wagner's here as well.
Alderman Bob Donovan pretty upset someone has been posting as him on Twitter. Donovan told the Journal Sentinel, quote, "People responsible for that garbage ought to, for their own sake, get a life. I think they're losers to begin with." This happens pretty frequently on the social media site. Does more need to be done to prevent fraud? And Twitter has been good about taking these people down. They've popped up again. They've taken them down once again.
Yeah, I mean, they really have, and I think this is where Bob Donovan really needs to get with the program. It's my understanding that he doesn't have a Twitter site, and people nowadays get their news from Twitter, whether we like it or not. And I think it's up to us as the consumers to be skeptical about everything that we can read. So,
I would love to see what Bob Donovan's Twitter stream would be like.
well,
I would love to see it.
Okay, look, it's somebody who's been dragged kicking and screaming into the Twitterverse. And matter of fact, we just crossed on my Twitter thing, we just crossed the big round number today. But here, I mean, here's the bottom line on this. It's one thing to be up on Twitter. What he's complaining about is there was somebody who was posing as him, pretending to be him, sending out tweets. Now, I understand that when you're in politics, there's this whole thing for parody, but that's different than fraud. And I think people have a right to say, okay, you can't pretend to be, Tracy Johnson or Courtney Garish and be sending stuff out.
And Tracy,
that's reasonable.
The one thing you said kind of popped into my head about, people have to look at these tweets and understand what's real and what isn't. I don't think that people do that. I think so many people read something and they take it as fact.
Yeah, no longer are the people reporting the news like yourself, the newsmakers of the day. I mean, we're all reporters in this day and age.
So people have to have caution, but I don't know that they do, and I think that's where the problem is.
Yeah, and these imposters aren't going anywhere. So we just all have to be aware. And he needs to get on Twitter then, and he can cite it out for himself.
All right, third, final topic. At least she's being honest. A woman in Ohio has been panhandling over the past few days in order to get money for breast implants. She is a single mom. She is a waitress. The implants will cost her $5,000.
Who's watching her kids while she's sitting outside holding a sign in a bikini?
Do we not think her time would be better spent studying, or perhaps getting a second job, or maybe spending time with her child?
Apparently she just needs the implants, Tracy.
I don't know, but okay, that aside, let's say that's your goal. Get a second job or something. I don't know. I think this is disgusting.
Well, it's somebody who likes female breasts as well as the next guy, and perhaps better than most. You got to give her. You got to give her credit for. You got to give her credit for being at least upfront about this. I mean, how many times you walk past the panhandler and the guy wants $5 for lunch, and you know darn well it's going to go to booze or dope. At least in this particular case, she's upfront, no pun intended, about what she wants to do with this stuff.
But she can't dress in torn clothes and not bathe for 3 days and get money. I mean, this is going to get her money. So is she being upfront and honest? Maybe, but she's also working it to get the money she wants.
Yeah, I don't know where you draw the line on. Is this prostitution, kind of soliciting yourself out there? I mean, look what she's wearing. She's wearing a
I hope her
suit.
children are very young and not like 10 and 12 where people in town drive by and are like, hey, that's your mom.
Okay, well, don't get me wrong. I'm not giving her money, okay? So, I mean, I'm not giving her money because there's all sorts of other things that, I think the money could be better spent on. But still, as panhandling goes, I think this is kind of a creative approach.
Only thing I'm going to say, my favorite panhandling sign ever: girlfriend kidnapped by ninjas, need money for karate lessons. Favorite panhandling sign ever. We're taking a break. We will be right back.